Hi, I'm Lynn Bridgeford from the Aether Bias Clinic and Aether Bias Yoga, and today I'm going to talk to you about the second trimester of pregnancy. We're here in my clinic. I'm going to talk about some of the things I do with people in clinic in the second trimester, what's happening with baby, what's happening with you, and then I'll take you down to my yoga studio and we'll go through some key exercises that are really important to do to help you with preparing for delivery and keeping your body strong, keeping your baby safe. And then if you have time for it, I'll do a sequence afterwards. Some of you are busy and may just manage a few exercises because you've already got children or a busy life. Just choose what you can do and build up on it as you go along. Give yourself the time. Thank you. So hopefully you've come to the end of morning sickness, unless you're one of those unlucky people who has morning sickness all the way through. For the majority of people, you'll be feeling more comfortable, you'll have your energy back because the baby's getting the blood supply from the placenta, and the risk of miscarriage has dropped dramatically to 3 to 4%, and by 20 weeks it's 0.6%, so that's 1 in 160. So it's what's called the glorious trimester because baby's fully formed, the uterus is lifted up so it's not pressing on your bladder so much, you're not going to have to pee all the time, and generally you should be feeling on top of the world as far as pregnancy goes and have much more capability to take care of yourself and live life in as normal a way as possible. Your belly and your breasts are growing. You should see a baby bump by now, and you have a lot of blood flowing around your pelvis, so some women find they have a rampant sex drive, so enjoy to the full. It's perfectly safe to enjoy sex during pregnancy. If you find that some positions are difficult or uncomfortable, then just discuss it with your partner and find what works for you so you can enjoy your full intimacy. You may have some growing pains as the uterus grows and as your breasts grow, and you may have some tenderness. You may also get some pain around the sides of the belly for the round ligament, which you can actually feel on the pubic bone here as that's getting stretched with the uterus growing. So that's normal and usually nothing to worry about. You may start to get some back pain, and this is where gentle yoga exercises will help. Very often people who come to me in the middle trimester with back pain, it's because they've overdone it or they've had a slip or a bump or a fall or something. There are rare cases where they will start to get some back pain from the changes, but usually this is quite easily managed and yoga is wonderful to help this. You may experience Braxton Hicks, which are almost like practice contractions, but they're very short-lived and often happen at night, so they're not like the contractions of labour, which are long and regular. It's possible that you may get leg cramps or restless legs as the blood vessels are compressed through the pelvic floor. They all pass through there. So magnesium's very good for cramps, so you may like to soak in a nice Epsom salts bath, which is magnesium sulfate. I wouldn't drink it because that will really go through you like a dose of salts, but it's very good for relaxing muscles in a bath. You may get swollen or bleeding gums, and you have more sticky plaque around your teeth, which you can blame your hormones for. This is why you get some free dental treatment during pregnancy in this country. This is the time you'll be offered blood tests and scans, and you may have the opportunity to find out the sex of the baby if you wish and if the baby shows you. It's time to possibly start thinking about how and where you would like to deliver your baby. It's also important to avoid people with illnesses and infections, particularly things like rubella, chickenpox, just to keep safe. If you have been feeling sick and that's passed, you will be much more able to enjoy your food to the full. The same things should be avoided as in the first trimester. So for the baby, this is a third of the way through. It's 13 weeks and the baby's fully formed, really just going to be growing now. So the sizes at each week are likened to fruit generally. At 14 weeks, the baby's about the size of a kiwi, 85 millimeters, 15 weeks like a small pear, and 16 weeks like a lemon. By 17 weeks, your bump is getting bigger. The baby's about the size of an orange and weighs about 150 grams and is about 12 centimetres long. At 18 weeks, your baby's about the size of a bell pepper. It's about 14 centimetres. By 19 weeks, your baby's the size of a banana, though I have to say I've seen many different sized bananas. And at this stage, you may feel prods or kicks going on inside you. Very exciting moment. By 20 weeks, your baby would be about 26 centimetres tall. That's about the height of an A4 piece of paper. By 21 weeks, you're halfway there. Your baby's growing hair and starting to look like the baby you'll meet on the outside. By 22 weeks, your baby weighs about a pound, like a bag of sugar, and starts to weigh more than the placenta. By 23 weeks, your baby is like a large mango, about 30 centimetres. By 24 weeks, your baby's about the size of a corn on the cob. By 25 weeks, your baby can start to respond to light and touch and sound. You may even feel them jump in response to loud sounds. By 26 weeks, the eyelids start to open and they even blink. By 27 weeks, your baby's about the size of a cauliflower. By 28 weeks, the end of the second trimester, your baby's about the size of an aubergine and weighs about 1 kilogram. Now I know these are all average because some babies are taller than others, some babies are bigger than others, but it's just an average of what's going on inside you in this miracle of growth during the second trimester. I will start working with women, preparing with the muscles for delivery, with the psoas muscle, with the piriformis muscle that attaches into the sacrum, and with the adductors. I will test these with kinesiology, make sure they're working well. I'll start testing the opening of the pelvis when the lady squats, how the pelvis opens, to give an idea of how we're going to be opening for delivery. Not that we're delivering yet, but we want to build the strength and the capability and use the fact that all the ligaments are getting looser, so building the strength to help support that movement. So please join me downstairs for some yoga to help you in the second trimester. Enjoy it to the full and enjoy the growth of the baby and the wonder of the birth and making plans. And please get help, any help you need, and make sure before you do any exercises that you are safe to do so, and only do things that feel comfortable. There's a few key muscles that I always check with my patients when they come into clinic preparing for delivery, which would be from this stage on. That's the adductors, the psoas muscle and the piriformis. So we're going to do a few key exercises for each one, as well as preparing for baby, and then I'll put them together in a sequence with a few other things around. So just you can refer to the beginning and see what you should be doing on a daily basis. Warrior pose is really good for stretching the psoas muscle. We can do it standing or on the knees, feet apart, big step forwards, back toe faces to the front corner of the mat, bend the front leg no further than the ankle. We are aiming for 90. Lengthening the tailbone, reach the back leg away and square over the front leg. And we're going to reach the arms up, shoulders down, keep it nice and long. We only bring the hands together and look up if that's comfortable. This is getting the stretch down the psoas muscle. We'd be leaning forwards and reaching up. Or you could leave your hands on your hips. Spending time on all fours with a nice straight spine to allow the belly to hang free is really important throughout the following stages of pregnancy, and to give some space to the back. So spend some time either on all fours, or you can put your arms on a ball or on a sofa. Make sure that the back is straight rather than dipped, so you're giving space for optimal fetal positioning and some relief for your back. With the legs wide apart, we want to be stretching gently in the adductors, so you can extend the legs away from you, sit up on the sitting bones. You can bend the knees if you need to, if that's too extreme. Straighten the legs if you're able. Lift up nice and tall. We're going to reach up and reach out and lean over. So you're rooting the opposite hip and leg into the ground and breathing. Come up, we can just hold for a few breaths, reach up and fold. And lengthening through the spine, getting that stretch all the way through the rib cage, keeping the neck nice and soft. Another stretch in the adductors, which will also help with the piriformis. We're aiming to open in the groin, so if the knees need some support, you can put pillows underneath. You can press the hands into the mat behind you, lift up, gently wiggle, make space for the pelvis and the hips, and then gently take your weight forwards, keeping the spine nice and straight. Hold on to the feet. There's no force, we're lifting in the spine, there's space for the belly, and let the legs relax out to the side. It's a good position to check the pelvic floor because you've got the sitting bones on the floor, and the pelvic floor, we want to get that feeling of gathering up between the sitting bones. So it's those anti-P muscles where you squeeze them together, there's nothing overworked. And in yoga we would call this Mula Bandha. There's also one higher up called Uddiyana Bandha, which is not really possible to hold at this stage. So we practice lifting up the pelvic floor, letting it go. Lifting up, gathering it up, letting go. So if any muscle overworks, it gets tired. So if you're not sure if it's held, let go, engage again, and practice this several times throughout the day. And it's also good to practice while you're doing your stretches. To release the piriformis muscle, reclining slightly with the feet apart, bend one leg across, figure of four, and relax the knee down. So if you can go further, you can bring your body forwards and get that stretch across the bottom. It goes from the sacrum across to the hip, has a common insertion with the uterosacral ligament, so where the uterus connects to the sacrum is the same place that this piriformis, this butt muscle, connects. So if you want a bit more out of it, you can bring your foot closer or further away. You want to just stretch it rather than make it hurt. Squatting is really important. It's very good for the back, but also conditioning the legs and for opening the pelvis. It's the way we check what we call the kite. That's how the pelvis opens when you bend, because we want to have it opening for delivery, which is not yet, but we still want to keep that strength in the body. So to squat, we keep a nice straight spine, we take the bottom behind us and bend the knees. So that's like sitting down in a chair, Utkatasana. If you can go further, you can bring your arms onto your knees and allow the belly to hang, and just keep some fluidity in it. So those are exercises I would recommend doing every day. I'm going to feed them into a little sequence for when you have a bit more time. Do it along with the video in more of a sequence. Starting cross-legged, sitting nice and tall, gently wiggle from side to side. Let the spine open up. Let the shoulders move. And gently ease through the spine. Press the hands into the knees to open in the groin. Lengthen in the spine and breathe. We're going to take the legs into Baddha Konasana, which is feet into the groin. You can wiggle side to side. Find where you can be. You can press the hands into the back of the mat to lift up. Have a wiggle. Find that place where the back is free, the pelvis is free, groin is free, and the hips are free. Lift up, and then we're going to gently slide forwards. Only go as far as you can. We want the opening in the groin, and we want the spine nice and straight. So only go where you can go. Back off if it hurts. Find where you can be, breathe, and invite the body to let go. For a stronger version, we can do that facing forwards, being very careful to keep your body in a good alignment. So feet are together, and we allow the knees to slide out to the side. You can bring your hands on the floor, make sure the back's nice and straight. And you can bring your elbows down if you're that far down, or you can put them on a pillow. And you may go quite far, it depends on your flexibility. Keep the back nice and straight. And of course it depends on the size of your bump, how far you can go. Second trimester, this should be fine. I've had lots of ladies do it in third trimester too. Nice opening for the groin. So we're going to walk forwards, take a nice deep pose of a child. We can come onto the forearms if we don't want to bring the head all the way down. Or we can reach forwards and let the head relax down with a nice wide pose of a child. Wiggle into it gently. Coming up on all fours, we're going to do a cat-cow. So lengthening through the spine Lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the head. Doing it with the breath. We breathe out the lower lung, curl the tailbone round, middle lung, curl around the chest, upper lung, the head down. And again, breathe in lower lung, lift the tail, middle lung, lift the chest, upper lung, lift the head. Breathe out lower lung, curl around, middle lung, curl around the chest, upper lung, curl around the head. Come to a straight position, and we can do some turns with the pelvis, so give some rotations while you're going into that. Make it as big or as little as you like, and going the other way. We can also come from a straight spine and rotate, so just bring the bottom out to the side and look back towards it, giving a long bend. Come to the straight, turn the other side, lengthening through the spine, and sit back in pose of a child again. Whichever version you want to do. You can also bring your head in your hands and gently find some space. Coming up on all fours, we're going to go up into pose of a child, so tuck the toes under, lift up, nice straight spine, wiggle your way into it, nice inverted pose to let the tummy hang, wiggle through the spine, let your head be soft. If the legs don't straighten, then rather bend the knees and keep the back long. Nice relaxed breathing. And come down on all fours and into pose of a child. Coming up on all fours, we're going to step 1 foot forwards, nice and wide. Come up, we're going to stretch through the psoas. So leaning forwards on the front leg, getting a stretch, keeping the tailbone long. You can reach both arms up, or you can reach back and down. Most important is to get a nice straight stretch through the psoas muscle. And on the other side, knees apart, lean forwards. You can leave your hand on your knee. The aim is to stretch. You can reach up, you can reach back, or you can reach the other arm back. If the twist is too much, just stay straight forward, stretching in that psoas muscle into the hip flexors. Coming forwards again, then we're going to tuck the back toe under, lift up, reach away, turn the heel down, and we're going to come up, bending on that front leg and reaching the back leg away into our warrior pose. So lengthening in the tailbone, lengthening through the psoas muscle, shoulders above the hips, crown above the base, reach up if it's comfortable, and breathe. We're going to open into warrior B. So we're getting an opening, so both sides of the body we're aiming to have the same length. Look down the middle finger. We're going to turn the feet to the other side, open across the pelvis, lengthen through both sides of the body, straight leg, back holds up the arms, look down the middle finger, turning to the other side, reach the leg away, tailbone down, bend the front leg, and reach the arms up. Come down into pose of a child. And relax for a few breaths. Stretching in the groin, having one leg tucked in. Grow nice and tall. You can press the hands into the mat behind you to lengthen, have a little wiggle to create space. Keep it nice and soft when you wiggle. We just want to lubricate everything. Remember to lift the core muscles when we're working. We're going to reach up with the arms and then reach down towards the leg. Slide the hand down the leg. Bring the other arm up, lengthen, so we're lengthening both sides of the rib cage. And keep the neck in line and breathe. Doesn't matter how far you go, get that nice stretch through the spine. The other side, reach both arms up, grow tall through the ribs, shoulders down, reach across for the leg and bring the other arm alongside. So getting that lengthening through the spine. Just go as far as is comfortable for you. If you have the flexibility, we can do that with both legs straight, so we can slide out to the side, lengthening through the side of the body, bring the other arm up, rooting the opposite leg into the ground, sending the legs away, keeping the tummy nice and free. Come up and to the other side, reach up and fold over. Lengthening through both sides. Keep the neck nice and soft. Neck on top of the spine. Remember to lift the core. Lift that pelvic floor. And release. Coming into a good deep squat to open the pelvis. So you want to sit down with the bottom back. So wide apart. Squat down, stick the bottom out behind you. Keep the neck nice and soft. And have a little wiggle. Let the tummy hang down, let the back be straight. And we can gently go from side to side. You can go a bit wider with your feet, opening in the groin, just find where it's comfortable to be. Feet are almost straight, a tiny bit turned out. Keep the knees okay. And now we're going to lean into one side, bring the hand on the knee. Push, so we're lengthening all the way through the spine and reach through, all the way through the back, up through the arms, through the butt, through the glutes. And come back to the middle. The other side, press the hand into knee, lift, keep the neck long, back long, and breathe. Come back to the middle, find the comfortable place. If you want to drop the head down and just relax down, hold the elbows, have a little wiggle. If you want to straighten the legs, you can, just find what works for you. Nice free spine, free belly. And then press the heels into the mat, roll up and lift the chest to come up. If you can take a fuller squat, we're going to sit right down in Malasana and sit back on your heels. Keep your space for your belly and lift the chest. Good for opening the pelvis if you can do it. If you can't get your heels down, you can put a block underneath the heels. From the side, Malasana, good preparation for birthing and for strengthening and opening through the pelvis. We're going to lay down to stretch the piriformis while you still can in this trimester. So to lay down, you use the hands, lengthen through the spine and bring the feet up towards your bottom. We're going to stretch the piriformis by crossing the leg over, making a figure of 4. Just relax that knee down with no pressure. Feed the hands through. Take hold of the opposite leg and draw it down towards you. If you want more out of it, you can use the elbow opening against this knee, as long as that's comfortable. Be where you can be. There's no joy in forcing. Breathe and invite the body to let go. On the other side, cross the leg over in figure of 4. Little reminder for the hip to open, the knee to relax. Feed the hands through. Draw it down. Remember, you can use that elbow against the knee if that works for you. Breathing is the key to stretching. We're going to turn on the side. Get a few pillows. We're turning on the left side. Bring some pillows between the knees. And you may want one under your head. Get a nice relaxed position. You can bring your hand onto your belly. You may want to bring one leg up a little bit. Find what works for you. Take a few deep breaths. Connect in with the baby. Knowing that you've done some really good workouts to prepare for your body to hold your baby safely and to be preparing for the strength and flexibility for delivery. Take a few moments to just connect with the breath, connect with your baby, connect with the miracle of life inside you, and allow yourself to rest. And when you're ready to come up, use your hands to help you. Thank you so much. Please enjoy your stretching, your strength, your fitness through your second trimester. And any questions, please engage with me, like, subscribe. I'll be happy to interact with you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, write in the comments below, and go across to my other channels. I have Instagram, Lynn Bridgeford. I have Facebook channels for the clinic, for the yoga, and interact with me on all the channels, and I would be happy to connect with you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much.